Hi, Facebook friends. Byron Tyler here. We're going live on AM 640 and FM 100.7 from our Branson studio. We're waiting for our cue. We want to welcome our Facebook friends first. Stand by. And we're live from the Branson studios with Bot Radio Network. Hi, I'm Byron Tyler. It's always great to be here with my good friend Lynn Berry. Lynn is with the Branson Chamber of Commerce, and it's always great to explore Branson, Miss Lynn.
Here we are, and we're exploring at the most beautiful time of year.
I know the leaves, they're not quite peak yet, but
right.
You can kind of watch the changes are happening. Beautiful Ozarks. On our way up here was a little bit of challenge. I don't remember driving in such a torrential rainstorm that I did last night, but it was raining hard. Cats and dogs and maybe a few cows.
It has brought in the beautiful, cool weather that we're going to enjoy.
Yeah, I tell you what, one of my highlights is being here with you and talking about the wonderful opportunities families can have, to come and enjoy this, what Branson's all about, family, America, just having a good time, relaxing, creating memories. But and we've got a great lineup this afternoon. Matter of fact, let's just let everyone know we're broadcasting live on Facebook along with AM 640 and FM 100.7 back in Memphis. But we are going to be here today, tomorrow, and Friday, 3 days in a row at 3 o'clock. We've got a lineup of some great guests, and we need to get started, don't we?
We do.
Well, I had the opportunity back in June, as many of our listeners know, to go to Israel. And one of my buddies on the trip was Pam Critchfield. And, of course, our listeners have met Pam before on this show. She's been on many times as we've been up here in Branson. But, Pam, you went to Israel with me, and together we had a wonderful time.
We had an amazing time. It was life-changing.
Yeah.
It really was.
And what was the main thing you learned?
When you walk where Jesus walked and you put your feet in the water that he walked on, and you witness so much about that you've read about in the Bible, so many places that you couldn't even picture in your mind. And I just felt like it all of a sudden brought everything full circle for me.
Right. Yeah.
And it made me come home, and as I've thought about things, I'm on a mission to pack heaven.
All right.
There you go. That's right. I love it.
I think Jesus has us all on this earth for a mission, and I felt like that came to mind for me. So
well, thanks for sharing that. And I feel such the same way. We could talk about that trip the whole time. That's not why we're here, but I did want to give an opportunity for let you share. We had such a great time together, along with about 48 other people that went on the trip too. But anytime I come to Branson, you've got your hand into some exciting entertainment, exciting shows. We've talked about so many ones over the years, but something as we move into the holiday time and to celebrate Christmas, there is a band, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, that has for over 20 years now. I mean, just a band that it creates an incredible mix of classic rock music that is bringing the Christmas sound alive, And you have a show here in Branson that is called The Prophecy, and it is based on that same theme. And matter of fact, we have with us the producer in the studio right now. We want to welcome right here Thomas Rubeck. And Thomas, good to have you here. You are the producer of The Prophecy. You're also a vocalist, and you play guitar.
Yes, Byron, thanks so much for having us. Yes. Yeah, I've produced the show. I've been endorsed by Paul O'Neill, who was the founder of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra in 2014.
I mean, that's pretty big.
Absolutely, it's huge, yes.
Yeah.
He sent me a letter to my home with a box full of goodies and completely endorsed what we did, which was, it was somewhat sad last year when we found that he had passed, but we continue to do this tribute for him. But yeah, we're excited to be here. This is just going to be such an awesome year. And I want to thank my friend Pam for bringing us back. We had our own show here in 2016, and she loved it so much that she wanted to bring us back.
Starlight Theater is the venue. What is a great place here in Branson to have any event. The stage, it's comfortable. I mean, it's just a great place to be. So, and you actually handpicked all of these musicians who are classically trained, are just incredible in their own rights as musicians.
Yes, and I've done an extensive search throughout the United States, so they converge from different states to come to Branson and for the rest of the tour. But yes, they're classically trained. Most of them hold degrees in music, and they've been on tour with me, some of them for several years. So we're just we're so excited to be here, and I can't wait to get out to show them what the new show looks like. So we've actually saved a brand new show for the Starlight Theater this year.
Okay. Who was your biggest inspiration when it came to playing guitar? As you were growing up, as you picked up the guitar for the first time, who inspired you the most?
Sure. Wow. I would have to say probably Eddie Van Halen.
Okay.
Jeff Beck. Guys like, wow. I mean, Stevie Ray Vaughan. These are some great musicians. So I kind of have a mixture of all of these different classical blues, but plus the metal as well. And then obviously when TSO came along, they took something that shouldn't have worked on paper
to another level,
to another
level. Dimension. Yeah,
absolutely. And a lot of people told Paul, don't do this, don't do this. But then he did it, and well, we see where we're at 20 plus years later.
Okay, now the show, The Prophecy, at the Starlight Theater, November 12th through the 16th, and again the 26th through the 30th.
Sure.
And you can go to the website starlighttheater.com. Is that right?
Yes, you can. And Byron, I want to tell you, I've spent the day with Thomas. He's been in town today doing a lot of tech stuff over at the theater, and we've been shooting some videos and things. And this show is going to bring an element of technology that is second to none to Branson. They are going, the audiences of all ages, I'm not kidding you, from little kids to grandparents, we're going to wow them. Traditional Christmas music with a spin, fogs, lasers. I mean, it's amazing. And
you got to come see it.
Thomas has created this show especially for Branson.
Well, let's get our friends on that website, starlighttheater.com. You can actually see a video clip of what we're talking about, but make sure you go ahead and purchase your tickets. Be here again, those dates, November 12th through the 16th, 16th through the 30th of November, just around Thanksgiving time as we move into this holiday time of celebration. What a great way to do it. Thomas, thank you so much for bringing The Prophecy. Appreciate you being on our show today. Pam, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to another trip to Israel with you.
I know.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks. Well, Miss Lynn.
I'm so excited to
another
see
new
The
show
Prophecy.
here in Branson.
That's
right.
Right.
Makes it great.
That's
well,
right.
As we move into the afternoon, let's remind our friends that we're live here in our Branson studio. I've got Lynn Berry, who's with the Branson Chamber of Commerce. And anything we're talking about today on the way of shows, you can always go to explorebranson.com, explorebranson.com, and learn more about all of the great shows, events, especially as we move into the holidays. You don't want to miss it.
Not at all. And speaking of great entertainers.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we're going to go back a little bit. And we've got back in 1934, matter of fact, I want to make sure we do a proper introduction here. But in 1934, we look at the earliest days, the film industry of the cowboy. I mean, been one of the favorite movie subjects, you know. Westerns became the bread and butter of most early studios, and the musical segments were added, Miss Lynn, as you well know, to help broaden the interest. The singing cowboy, you know, was there, and created a mega stardom for people like Gene Autry, Roy Rogers, Tex Ritter, and Rex Allen. And then here comes 1934, the Sons of the Pioneer, and they are the original band, singers, group for the infamous Roy Rogers.
The best.
The
Absolutely.
best. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we've got Dusty Rogers, Roy's son, is here right now. Welcome to Bot Radio, Dusty. I'm going to get you to move a little closer to the microphone there. Right. But we have the privilege right now of having the trail boss. Is this Tommy?
Tommy Nally, yes.
Tommy Nally is here, and we have Dusty Rogers. Guys, thank you so much for joining Bot Radio.
Thank you.
And to talk about the incredible history of Sons of the Pioneers. I was hoping you'd bring your guitars on the show today. I had last time there was a couple of guys from the Pioneers. They sing Tumbleweed, you know. Yeah, remember that, Miss Lynn? So, well, what is it like to be part of such a historic, you know, group? Matter of fact, I was doing a little research, not to mention all the awards, but one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid was Gunsmoke. And one of my favorite characters on that show was Festus. You
Oh,
know, he was the
of
deputy
course.
sheriff.
That's right.
And as I was researching, guys, I did not realize that Festus was actually Sons of the Pioneer. He sang with your group.
He joined
back-
in 1948, and what a beautiful voice. Yes.
Was it 48?
Oh, that's neat.
And he sang for what, 3 or 4 years, I
Yeah,
believe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
48 to 49.
Did you know that, Miss Lynn?
I did not know that, but what memories I have of the Sons of the Pioneers.
Ken Curtis is, of course,
Yes, his real
Festus
name.
was his real name.
That's right.
And I saw him. He came to Memphis, where we're broadcasting right now,
Mhm.
to a rodeo for the Mid-South Fair. And I remember as a kid when he walked out there on that rodeo dirt, you know, I was so excited. But I had no idea that he was a member of the Sons of the Pioneer.
He really was.
Beautiful voice.
What's some of the legacy that your dad left you, Dusty?
Oh, well, and it wasn't just Dad. There was 3 guys that did it. I mean, it was Dad that started it, and then Tim Spencer and Bob Nolan were all the original members of the Sons of the Pioneers, and they've left such a huge legacy. I mean, you know, believe it or not, this year the Sons of the Pioneers are celebrating 84 years of constant entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the longest running group almost in the world anymore. And it's an amazing thing. And when Tommy called me and asked me in January if I'd like to join the group, because I was retired, I retired from doing shows at all. And Tommy called me, and I thought, well, boy, what a wonderful thing as a son gets to join his dad's group 84 years later. Is kind of an amazing thing. But Tommy's the one. He's our trail boss. He's got all of the history, but they've left us such a wonderful cache of songs and movies and radio. And I mean, it's just, they were into everything at that time.
Well, Tommy, tell me about Branson, and I mean, you know, and why Branson for Sons of the Pioneers?
Well, we're at the Shepherd of the Hills Pavilion, and we're there for a total of 7 weeks. We have 3 more weeks after this week, and you know, we started coming here in 1984, I think it was, and some years has been a full year, some years has been a partial year, but God, we just people from all over come, you know, and it's just really great.
Yeah, and of course, I know home for Sons of the Pioneers is at Shepherd of the Hills, is where you do your shows when you're here. Is that correct? And you've got 3 shows. Matter of fact, this week, next 3 weeks, you've got shows happening here in Branson. And then I think you guys hit the trail, don't you?
Yes, we go to, we're going to Arizona, California,
Oklahoma.
We play all over the states. We play in Canada a lot, and just a lot of traveling.
What's the reception of cowboy music and that old, you know, are you seeing a resurgence of some of the younger generation picking up on this sound?
There's people that come out that come up to us and say, you know, our grandmother or our mother and dad introduced us to this music, and they want to come out and see what it's like, and they like it. They love it.
You know, Dusty, when I think of your family, of course, you have to mix in Miss Dale Evans, you know, in there too.
Well, she's such a huge influence on everybody.
Totally, yeah. Women usually are, Miss Lynn, aren't they?
Oh, 100%.
But one of the things that is a young teenager, I remember seeing your parents make very open statements of faith.
Absolutely.
They weren't ashamed to talk about Jesus.
No, my mom wrote 28 books in her lifetime, and they were all religious based. And she taught me religion when I was a young boy. She said, son, you better pray that comes out of the carpet. I mean, she was just a great lady, and she was from Texas, and, you know, you can tell a Texan, but not much.
Yeah.
But she was a fine Christian woman. And I never met anybody that didn't like Dale Evans. I mean,
she was one of my role models, that woman from Uvalde.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Wonderful lady.
We've had several church groups come out to the Shepherd to see us, and always inviting them to come out. So it's always nice.
Yeah, listen, we want to remind all of our Bot Radio Network listeners, if you're in Memphis in the Mid-South, we've got, even from Memphis, we have listeners in Little Rock, Arkansas, because the signal is so powerful. So wherever you're hearing our program right now, you're not too far from Branson. It took me from Memphis about 5.5, well, a little bit more because of that rainstorm last night. But, you know, you can be here easily in about 5.5 hours from Memphis. Other places in Arkansas, they're listening to us. In Missouri, you can get here a lot quicker. And we would invite you to make plans to come. And when you get here, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, if you're going to be close by, you can see Sons of the Pioneers. Tell us about the show.
Tuesday through Saturday, 5 days a week. And the people come in. They start serving food at 4:15. We play at 5.
It's a chuck wagon show.
Chuck wagon dinner. And then it's over at 7, so you still have time to get to another night show if you'd like to.
Okay. What do you, Dusty? You said you came out of retirement. I mean, what was it? What was the motivating factor most that got you to come out of retirement to
Well,
do
I
this?
had to check with my wife first because I've been married 51 years and I want to be married 52. So she said, no, you need to do it for you. And so, of course, I've loved the music my entire life. I'm probably one of the few guys walking that knew all the Sons of the Pioneers from the very first three, all the way through my entire lifetime. I've met all of them, all 47 or 50 of them.
You were young when you
I
met
was, yeah. But it was such a legacy, and tumbling tumbleweeds and cool water. There, both of them are in the Grammy Hall of Fame, and
Yes.
Mom's Happy Trails in the Grammy Hall of Fame. So it's such a huge repertoire of music. It's just
Yeah, you guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but my very first guitar is probably about a 5-year-old kid, was a Roy Rogers guitar.
Oh.
Yeah, I wished I still had that guitar, but that was my first guitar. And what a great memories. And
hard to tune, but it didn't matter.
That's right. Yeah.
I'd like to have invite people to go to our website.
Yes.
sonsofthepioneers.org. There's history, schedule, bios, a lot of pictures, a lot of information of the current group and the history of the old pioneers.
Well, Tommy, Dusty, thank you so much for joining us on our live show here from Branson.
What a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
I know it's a little early, but we're going to go ahead and say Merry Christmas to you.
Okay.
We hope you have a great Thanksgiving too.
You too. And happy trails.
Happy trails.
Yeah, don't forget
Thank
that.
you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
They are so good. And
You've had that chuck wagon food.
Absolutely. The dinner's wonderful out there at the Shepherd of the Hills. They've got a new pavilion.
I'm going to get you, Miss Lynn, as we transition to our next show, to move right into that seat right there. We're looking forward to talking to a crazy Russian who has made his way back to Branson. He has had a sabbatical of 2 years. And everybody's wondering, where is Yakov? Well, Dr. Yakov, shall we say, is in the house right now. Yakov Smirnov, God bless you. Thank you so much for being here on Bot Radio today.
You're so welcome.
And,
Thanks for having me.
You know, I saw there were these big bulldozers over there off of 65, close to where the Yakov Theater was, and they were leveling off things. And I was wondering, what's happening? Did they bury Yakov, or what's going on?
No.
No, but...
it's just the beginning of everything.
Yeah. Now, your son, too, I think you all have been doing some shows together. Is he part of this new Surgeons coming?
Not this year, no.
Okay.
No, he decided that he's more into art and painting, and so he's following his talent in that. God gave him just a lot of talent, so he has choices, but yeah, I was hoping that he'll stick around with comedy, but I think it gives him more freedom to do paintings.
Well, and I guess he got that painting probably from his dad, because you like to paint too.
I do.
Yeah.
I like to paint very much. Yeah. It really, when I'm happy, I paint. So when my canvas is being painted on, people around me know I'm happy.
Yakov, you spent some 20 years entertaining, folks, families here in Branson, and then you took that break for a couple of years. Was this planned that did you think you were going to, not come back to Branson, and you were looking for other opportunities, or, what was the 2 years all about?
It was 3 years.
Oh, 3 years.
3
Okay.
years,
Yeah.
Yes. I went to Hollywood, and I did some things, like PBS special that was named Best PBS Special of the Year. And so that was really exciting. And I missed Branson. I missed this feeling of being home.
Yeah.
In LA, really, you're just a tiny little fish, and swinging upstream. And here you show up and people know who you are, and so it's nice to come back.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about lately about Russia and America, and I think you've actually built your show on some of this new thoughts of bringing the Russian into the conversation.
Yes, and there's an expression that, how do you win a fight with the 800-pound gorilla? You don't get in the ring. So my involvement with this, I do a skit in the show, that talks about, I'm a press secretary for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So it's a press
Perfect.
conference. Yeah, it's a press conference. So it's tongue in cheek. I don't make fun of anybody specifically. I just kind of make it funny. I don't make fun.
Well, I know Branson has missed you, and I know they're glad, Miss Lynn.
We're so glad Yakov's back to make America laugh again.
That's right.
And you know, and we need to laugh, don't we?
That's exactly
my
right. And
goodness,
we
yes,
do when
we do.
Yakov's around.
We definitely do. I'll tell you. Yeah.
Well, Yakov, I know that you came here with your family back in 1977, I believe. Is that right?
Yes. Correct.
What are you most grateful that America has offered you?
I think the opportunities that were when I was coming here, I didn't really know what I can do, what I will be able to do. I didn't speak English. I didn't have any money. I didn't know anybody here in America. And I was very blessed that America has embraced my hard work and talents and willingness to do whatever it takes to make it successful. And that's what I appreciate probably the most.
Yeah. I think something too, we don't really understand our freedom until we don't have it, Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah. I didn't have it. So when I got it, I'm a huge fan of America, even though it's crazy what's going on now. It's like everybody's seem divided and all that. But I still think this place, Branson, kind of reminds people, they say this is how America what used to be.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this is the way America ought to be. And people are just nice and friendly. That's why I'm here.
What do you wish that Americans who were actually born in this country appreciated more about this country?
Well, I think that the example that comes to mind right now, like football players, they'll get on one knee when they hear the national anthem. In my case, it's like when I hear the national anthem, I get on both of my knees and I thank God that I'm an American. So I think recognizing that no matter how many differences we might have, this is still the greatest nation on the planet. I travel everywhere. And I go, I tour and I go on the cruise ships and I travel the world and I learn something. You can go to another country. Let's say you go to Italy. I was just in Europe and I was in Portugal, and you can't become Italian. Then you can go to France. You cannot become a Frenchman, but you can come to America and become an American. That's what I appreciate.
What a country.
What a country.
What a
That's
country.
right.
What about your interest and love for humor? I mean, is that something that you did even as a child when you were back in Russia?
Yeah, I definitely was I was very fortunate because I grew up in Odessa. It's a city in the Black Sea, which is considered a capital of humor of old Soviet Union. So I was around people where they didn't say hello. They would just say, "Did you hear this joke?" So since I was a kid, it was like, "Have you heard this? Have you heard that?" Cool. And my parents were funny. I remember asking my mom, "Where do people come from?" And she said, "Well, there was Adam and Eve, and they had a baby, and then the people multiplied." And I asked my dad, where did people come from? And he said, "Well, there was monkeys, and they evolved, and that's how we got so many people." And I said, "Mom, how come you say there was Adam and Eve, and Dad says there was monkeys?" And my mom said, "Well, I was talking about my side of the family." so that's what I grew up with, just a lot of laughter and I try to do that with my friends in school, my classmates, and I would make everybody laugh. And when since I was a kid, and I continued to do this research, but at that time, it was just intuitively recognizing that laughter is the way people communicate to one another that they're happy.
Yeah.
Because if you think of a simple experiment, You can film the show, my show, any show, where laughter is happening in the room. Everybody is, sides bleeding laughter. They watch that on when they're by themselves. There will be no laughter.
Yeah.
They don't, because there's nobody to communicate to that, hey, this guy is funny.
Yeah.
So we just we nod our heads and we go, oh, that's cute and whatever. And that's what happens. So I saw that correlation between happiness and laughter, and I started researching this later in life. And now, I got my master's degree. Then I became a professor teaching this at Missouri State University. And now I'm getting my doctorate degree. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
and you really are helping make America laugh again.
That's
And the
the
show
goal.
is happening right here in Branson this Friday night. It kicks off for the opening through November 24th, I believe. Is that right?
correct.
And are you going to also include a dinner part of that? Something you can actually, no food
dinner
on this
No.
one.
On Friday, it's a VIP reception. So there's
One dinner.
I think I'm going to come to Friday night so I can get the food, okay?
That's the way to go. That's smart.
But the best thing to do is go to your website, which is Yakov, which is YAKOV.com,
Yes.
and get all the details about
Get
all.
tickets, get whatever you want there. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything is
Wow. Yakov, thank you so much for making us laugh. Thank you for coming back to Branson. And
My
we're looking
pleasure.
forward to this. Hope, though, this will be just the beginning of even more exciting shows that you'll bring to Branson.
I hope so too,
Yeah.
and I think that this my heart is here, so I didn't leave. I just I just took a little nap.
There you go. Well,
So they don't walk up and hug you in Walmart in Los Angeles.
There is no Walmart in Los
No.
Angeles.
Miss Lynn, we're going to have to
Oh.
wrap up today. We're doing live network show here back in Memphis. This has been a great afternoon with Yakov, with the Sons of the Pioneers, and also The Prophecy, the new show at the Starlight. But we're going to be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock at the same time. And if folks want any more information about anything we've talked about, you can go to where?
ExploreBranson.com.
That's right, ExploreBranson.com. You can check it out and get all the great details of accommodations, places to eat, shows. Don't miss it. I'm Byron Tyler, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.
Very, very good. Wow.
He's
Yeah, you've done this.
Well,